The other important aspect is the miscellaneous instructions. So while whatever we discussed till now were specifics, now apart from that there is a list called miscellaneous instructions that the NHB has over a period of time been giving to the housing finance companies, and that list has now been consolidated into one master list which now forms a part of the RBI regulations. One of the important aspects in the miscellaneous instructions list is the way an advertisement or a disclosure is made. Now, you may have experienced that whenever you go to buy a property personally, you may be comfortable buying a property if a particular finance company or a particular bank has approved the project. I'm not getting into specifics of which finance company or which bank, but there is a general perception that if a particular finance company has approved the project, then I may be interested in that. Of course, there will be other considerations also, but you will have taken the first step. The other thing is that the buyer should also know that if this project that he or she is buying into, whether that is encumbered or no. We spoke in the legal diligence that you have to ensure that the property is freehold and it is not encumbered with someone. So no other party has a right on the property that you are buying. In order to ensure all of this, the RBI has said that whenever a builder or a developer is putting out an advertisement for the project, he has to ensure that the name of the housing finance company which has approved the project is appearing in the advertisement. There may be multiple finance companies or banks whose names can be put up over there. The HFC is supposed to ensure that this is done. This is with the view to promote more transparency. Apart from this, they also have to write over there if the particular project is encumbered with or is charged to a particular bank or a particular housing finance company or an NBFC. And also a statement that if at all the prospective buyer purchases the property, then this particular bank or the finance company will issue a no objection certificate saying that it has no objection to the fact this property is sold and the buyer is buying it, and the moment this happens, the finance company will release its charge on that particular flat or that particular apartment which the buyer is purchasing. The other instruction that is there, which is very, very, very important, especially in today's world, is that the disbursement of the loan has to be done in stages which are linked to the construction of the property. So if a particular project is going to take 5 years to construct, 100% funds cannot be released on day one. The disbursement has to be linked to each stage of construction. So if the construction completion is 30%, only 30% of the loan has to be released and not beyond that. This is to ensure that there is no misappropriation of the funds and you do not come to a situation where the builder has taken the complete loan and fails to deliver the project, and now it is the borrower or the buyer in that project who is left with a loan and with no asset in his or her hand. In the technical evaluation session, you would have seen that the properties have to be valued. And in another module also, you would have seen that there is a particular capping on the loan to value ratio. And if the value of the property is so and so, the maximum loan that can be given is only an X percentage of the value. Now, there is a possibility that in order to give a higher amount of loan, the housing finance company or the bank may increase the value of the property. That is, when they are making their own file notings, a 1 crore property may be shown to be valued at 1.5 crore in their own records. And because say there was 80% maximum loan that was permissible, instead of 80 lakhs, they will now be able to give 1.20 crore as loan. This is all assuming that the credit appraisal and all is in place. To plug this loophole, RBI and the NHB have said that for properties or for loans above a particular value, there has to be an external independent valuation done apart from the valuation that the housing finance company carries on its own. In certain loans which are of a higher value, multiple external valuations also are required to be done, and there are also prescriptions on regular valuation of the property, right? So there are detailed guidelines that the RBI has given on valuers, their appointment, and the role that they are supposed to play. So this is as far as the RBI regulations are concerned. There are other guidelines also which the RBI has given, and they are basically on the entry into insurance sector, securitization, and other disclosure norms also. As I said, we are not getting into specifics of each of them, but all in all, this is the broad framework of the RBI regulations as far as the regulation of a housing finance company is concerned.